Any health-related information on the following show provides general information only. Content presented on any show by any host or guest should not be substituted for a doctor's advice. Always consult your physician before beginning any new diet, exercise, or treatment program.
Welcome to Accelerated Health Radio and TV. I'm your host, Sarah Banta. I'm a health coach, natural supplement expert, and a busy mom of three. Make sure you hit the subscribe button below so you're notified every week with my new podcast, Mondays and Tuesdays. And if you haven't already, join my free group coaching on Telegram with the link below. I teach you on a daily basis with tips and tools to enhance your health. There is no downside. You will be a part of a like-minded group to support you on your journey in addition to truly taking control of your health. So, in light of Valentine's Day, we are talking about how to increase your libido naturally. And I know so many of you are suffering. Our testosterone levels have plummeted. Even the teenagers and the 20-year-olds that should be, have huge sex drives, they are even plummeting and suffering. And a lot of it's stress. We are under extraordinary stress. We might not be in COVID lockdown anymore, but there's this overwhelming chronic stress that hasn't left us. And because of that, it can affect not only our sex drive and our libido, but our testosterone levels, all of our hormone levels, and they are all related. If you've been listening to me, you've heard me talk about your thyroid affecting your adrenals, affecting your gonadal system, and your testosterone, estrogen, progesterone, and oxytocin. So it's just because we're too busy, or are we around our spouse more than normal during these lockdowns, not lockdowns, that our sex drive and libido are disappearing? Or is it actually a physiological change as a response or the stress response to our body? So when your body is chronically stressed, cortisol, aldosterone, epinephrine, those are stress hormones, they increase and start this negative cascade of hormonal reactions. And as a result, testosterone decreases significantly in men and women. And remember, women, we have more testosterone than estrogen. We just don't have as much as the men do. So we don't think of it as a female hormone. It's one of my very favorite hormones. You lower my testosterone, I don't want to get out of bed. I don't want to go work out. I don't want to do podcasts. I love that testosterone. But you also need the estrogen and progesterone, and those will start to decrease significantly in women under stress as well. Your adrenals become fatigued, and your kidneys, which hold up your adrenals. So your adrenals sit on top of the kidneys, okay? And then your kidneys will become inflamed. What happens with that? Then you retain water, and your kidneys are where you hold that life force, or your drive for work, your drive for exercise, your drive to be the best at whatever endeavor you have. And it's the same as your sex drive. You've heard of the baseball players during the World Series that they abstain from sex. Well, there's a reason. If you drain your drive via sex, you're going to have less drive on the field. There is actual science to that. So what's more is that your cortisol, your aldosterone, epinephrine cause your blood sugar to increase and lead to that unexplained weight gain without eating anything different. And this also will cause water retention. This can lead to insulin resistance and type 2 diabetes. Those two things alone will make you feel worse and have a negative impact on your sex drive. And then what's more is the spike protein is showing to increase an over-exaggerated insulin response. So it's playing with our hormones even more. I've seen more men and women complain about estrogen dominance, man boobs, this lack of testosterone, the lack of feeling good, mood disorders, all of these things more than ever in the last 2 years. So there is no mystery why. Furthermore, DHEA and testosterone and estrogen decline, leading to other symptoms like hair loss and muscle loss. So just with hormonal changes after you're 40, going into perimenopause and menopause, and even into those ages for men, we're experiencing hair loss, muscle loss, thyroid, hypothyroidism can be a contributor. Actually, long COVID can be a contributor, but just the hormonal change will lead to those things as well. But then stress exacerbates those issues. Lastly, the love hormone oxytocin, which is an amazing hormone, is negatively impacted by the increase of the cortisol, aldosterone, and epinephrine. So our goal is to increase the oxytocin to combat the negative impact of stress, to improve insulin sensitivity, and above all, improve your sex drive. And we are going to be having Dr. John Gray on the show tomorrow to talk about this further. So make sure you don't miss that. So how do we balance your hormones, increase oxytocin, and increase your libido naturally? Number one, and this is why it is the number one supplement that I recommend for everybody, because it helps with almost every issue. And that's the acceleridine iodine. Acceleridine regulates estrogen production, cleans the blood so the liver can detox the estrogen properly. Iodine decreases estrogen in the receptor sites, which help reverse estrogen dominance and increase the usable testosterone. It also helps with fibroids, PCOS. If you've been listening to me, you know that I suffered from PCOS. I needed help getting pregnant because of this, but no doctor talked to me about the fact that PCOS was related to my thyroid issues and to my insulin resistance. So that is also why we need to address those issues directly. And it also, iodine deficiency is also related to other hormonal imbalances. Acceleridine is also anti-inflammatory. It's a powerful antioxidant. It helps neutralize the inflammation and oxidative stress that leads to estrogen dominance. So when we're looking at the hormonal issues and estrogen dominance, we're looking at a backed up liver. And that's why we gotta love our liver and gotta give our liver some love back, especially during these times when the toxicity is so extreme. It's at a level that we have never seen before. The level of radiation that we're exposed to is at a level that we've never seen before. So that backed up liver, the liver produces estrogen binding protein. And when the liver's clogged, it has a difficult time doing this. So the liver is where phase 1, 2, and 3 estrogen detoxification occurs. So however we can support our liver, and part of that is with the iodine, we need to take advantage of it. And iodine is utilized by the endocrine system to regulate the estrogen production. And 96% of test subjects were found to be extremely iodine deficient. That was from a study years ago, before these last couple of years, where our iodine supplies are either radioactive or toxic from where they're coming from, or our soils were not so depleted of iodine as they are now. Tap water is also a contributor to the increased estrogen and the decreased usable testosterone in the body. From millions of women taking birth control and hormones, they contaminate the tap water with their urine. Yes, this is true. And these hormones then travel to the water treatment plants, and the plants don't filter them out. As a result, the tap water has perpetually increasing amount of estrogen. So it just is getting harder and harder to decrease those xenoestrogens that are clogging our receptor sites and causing a lower level of usable testosterone in the body. And then you've got the sugar. Eating refined sugar robs you of important minerals in addition to producing excess estrogen in the body. While that white sugars consumed, the minerals are taken out from the body. So not only are you having zero nutritional value from the sugar, but it's actually stealing your good minerals from the foods that you are eating, thinking, oh, well, I had my healthy salad, I'm allowed to have my cookie now. So it's doing a double whammy, and this disrupts the mineral ratios in the body. So that is why we need to be using the accelerated iodine to help with this regulating the estrogens in the body. The next supplement is from my friend, Dr. Amy Horniman, and you can find it at Accelerated Health Products. The Hormone Fixer. This focuses on raising testosterone in females gently and naturally. I take this every day, and I absolutely love it. Not only is it a placebo, because I test myself on my Genius Insight app on where my testosterone levels are, and they have increased. But I can also tell you my drive in the gym, my drive at work, my drive in the bedroom has increased significantly. So love the Hormone Fixer. New to Accelerated Health Products is Shine, and this helps increase testosterone in men and women. It's a spray. It increases energy, libido, strength, immunity, stem cell growth. It works with the LifeWave stem cell packages. It improves moods. It contains frequencies to enhance its efficacy. What I love about the technology behind the Shine and the LifeWave patches is it goes along the same lines as the frequency healing with the Accelerated Health products, and how we use scalar frequencies to add in to additional healing on top of what the ingredients are supposed to do. Then you've got the Bedroom Fixer and sex hormone binding globulin. If that is high, it renders those beneficial hormones like testosterone, T3, and estrogen inactive in the body. And if you do a male hormone panel, a female hormone panel, you would think that they would test for SHBG. No, you have to pay extra. You have to ask your doctor for this extra test. I highly recommend you test for it, because you might see that your testosterone's in a good range, your estrogen's in a decent range, but there's no answer to the SHBG or the low drive. So you want to make sure you're looking at that SHBG hormone. It is the one that binds up to the good usable testosterone and makes it not usable. So your testosterone might be super high, but not being usable in the body. So that is where the Bedroom Fixer comes in. It binds up the SHBG so that your testosterone and other feel-good hormones are optimized. The Julva Feminine Cream. You can find this on the website too. This is actually a cream for the female vaginal tissue, helps those suffering from a lack of energy and lack of desire to initiate sex. And it helps with the difficulties with arousal and orgasm as well, or just discomfort due to vaginal dryness. And every woman that uses it always comes back for more. So that is something fun that I usually don't talk about, but it is something that definitely belongs in this discussion. But when we talk about our general health, right, it's kind of like, if we want our skin to look good on the outside, we got to feed it from the inside. Well, if we want our sex drive and our libido to be enhanced and optimized, we've got to take care of our physical health. It's not separated. Accelerated keto. This puts your body in ketosis, which means that your body is going to start burning its own fat stores for energy within 30 minutes. And why is this important for your libido? Well, It helps control your appetite, increase the physical and mental energy as it's teaching your body to utilize its own fat stores for energy. And then as that happens, as your energy increases and your cravings for sugar decrease, so we're not eating that white sugar that's stealing away our minerals, you're able to intermittent fast, reduce the insulin resistance, which I just heard that I think it's 90% of people are either insulin resistant or type 2 diabetic. That is crazy. That statistic was 80%, but it has increased significantly even more. So this is your number one tool to lower that insulin resistance. Cleanse the liver on a daily basis. Yes, I want you to be doing a liver flush 3 to 4 times a year. It's due for me, but this will be cleaning your liver on a daily basis. It cleans up the estrogen, the excess estrogen, increases your testosterone and libido, reduces inflammation, and reduces the oxidative stress throughout the body. All of these things are going to help the libido in the bedroom. And it's burning that belly fat, right? Burning the visceral fat. How are you going to feel and how is your confidence when you start having abs in the bedroom, right? So everything is tied together, and you're feeding your body better with wild animal protein and foods that are not filled with the sugar and the processed vegetable oils that are slowing you down, that are making you lethargic, and you're going to have more energy in the bedroom. The accelerated keto is also different from any other exogenous ketone supplement because it has multiple herbal cofactors that increase ATP production in the cells, and that is your true cellular energy. So what happens when you have more cells in every single cell in the body, including your gonads? It's going to increase that performance. It also helps defat the liver where the fat burning occurs, the hormones are regulated, and the sugars are processed. The liver is where the body detoxes the xenoestrogens that bind up those usable testosterone. Next, accelerated thyroid. If you listen to me the other week, I mentioned that the HPT axis, which is the hypothalamus pituitary thyroid axis, is connected to your HPG axis, which is your hypothalamus pituitary gonadal axis. So they're all related, and your adrenals, your HPA axis. So low functioning thyroid leads to fatigue inside and outside the bedroom. So by combining two different formulas in one, the accelerated thyroid is that powerful supplement that can support the thyroid health naturally and provide so many benefits. So I've talked about the fact that I had PCOS, which is related to my female hormones, right? It was related to a suboptimal thyroid and insulin resistance. When I corrected my insulin resistance and I optimized my thyroid, I right away eliminated the PCOS in my body. And I wish I had known about this before I started trying to get pregnant. I then was able to get pregnant after I was done having kids. Did me no good except for to be helping you. So there are so many women out there suffering from PCOS or fibroids or other female hormonal issues. So why would we not think that this was not going to affect our libido as well? The accelerated thyroid helps improve that hormonal balance, helps increase your metabolism, increases your fat burning. If your metabolism is high and you're burning fat, you're able to lose that unwanted weight that you've gained out of nowhere, and you've got more energy. Your libido's going to feel better. You're going to have better performance in the bedroom. You're going to help prevent that fatty liver through the accelerated thyroid as well. It's going to help increase that mental and physical energy. It also helps with wound healing, encourages strong connective tissue and bones, osteoporosis and connective tissues related to wrinkles and skin and fascia. All of that is related to the thyroid, which is also something that we look at, especially a lot of women are focused on these issues as we get into our 40s and 50s. The accelerated thyroid helps support that. It supports the immunity, helps improve your mood, strengthens digestion. It even helps with B12 production. Next is the virility caps. This promotes male fertility, and it's useful for men with impotence, poor sperm count, and poor sperm motility or mobility. This is a Chinese herbal remedy that I've been using for my men for years. I can tell you every man that's on it always comes back for a refill. So it is something that does work. I always say you want to start out with the thyroid supplements, with the keto, and with the diet, but the virility caps does help. The X39 stem cell patches. So this is going to increase your own stem cell production and reset over 4,000 genes to a younger state. And that includes the genes responsible for the cell membrane support, which allows the toxins out and then nutrients in while healing the gut. But it also helps with detoxing from the xenoestrogens, regulating hormonal balance, and essentially putting our hormones back to where we were in our 20s, and not the 20-year-old of 2023 who has very low testosterone, but the testosterone levels of someone 50 years ago, which was at a much higher level. It helps repair collagen in all the tissues, heal leaky gut, which is also responsible for detoxing the body. The gut is responsible for detoxing the body of the wrong or excess estrogens that bind the testosterone. It activates all stem cell production, encourages apoptosis, just like the accelerating does. And that apoptosis is the destruction of cancer and disease cells. And it also improves all of the estrogen detoxification pathways, reduces inflammation associated with endometriosis, PCOS, fibroids, all of these things that also might be related to the gonadal system in general and your libido. Okay, so the X49 patch is a patch that goes with it. And I love this patch because it is based on increasing the AHK copper peptide. That's why we also need copper in our diet, and the accelerated copper helps with that. But it helps increase testosterone, growth hormone, increases energy and recovery after exercise, increases stamina, improves cardiovascular function and focus, reduces that belly fat, increases muscle tone and strength. I know that within just a week of using the X49, I was able to do my push-ups harder, quicker, and more of them. I could see a difference in my workouts. I also saw a difference in the belly fat being reduced and muscle tone, and increasing that lean body mass, and then bone density. Bone density is really important. All of these things are going to help with our libido, right? Because our testosterone and growth hormone increase. And many people also increase or experience faster, thicker hair growth, which is only going to help with your confidence. So many people are suffering from hair issues in the last year. And whether it's long COVID symptoms or just the increase in radiation and toxicity in our diet, everybody is losing their hair. So the X49 stem cell activation patch is one of the tricks in getting that hair back. It also helps protect from 5G and radiation. And if you know me, I am really passionate about reducing the radiation risks in our body, detoxing it from properly. I have a full radiation detox bundle on the website that goes after this, but the X49 patch, just by putting like this cage of protection around our body by wearing a patch, why not? We are not going to be able to zero out the radiation exposure 100%. Unless you are living in some isolated town, which even I think those isolated towns are getting the 5G towers as well. You're not going to be able to get that. So we need all the protection we can get. We want to protect ourselves with the X49 patch, with the supplements, with the little stickers that you can stick on your devices to protect you from excess radiation. All of these factors we need to be using. Yes, it's a lot. Yes, it can be overwhelming, but that is the world we're living in. So just start adding these things at your pace in how you can not get overwhelmed and doing one thing at a time. And that's where I come in. I want to be giving you these tricks and tools that you can actually start seeing a difference when you use them, so that you're motivated to continue using them and continue to help yourself on your own journey. The energy enhancer patches, these are amazing. I wear them on my wrists, and I also wear them on the bottom of my feet. They help increase cellular health to improve the detoxification and allow the toxins to pass through the cell walls easily. When those cell walls become rigid, and this is also known as phase angle, Heather Hineker at Ascent Adaptation, who talks about this a lot with her in-body scans that she does for clients. And it's amazing. It tells you your ability to get those toxins out and get the nutrients into the cells. The energy enhancer patch increases that number. It also increases energy at the cellular level, supports digestion, circulation, and optimal detoxification. Another supplement that I have been using since I was 30 is called Menopause Health. This is an Ayurvedic supplement. It's a balanced formula containing herbs that regulate hormones for all women over the age of 30, even prior to menopause. It helps with symptoms like hot flashes, night sweats, vaginal dryness, mood swings, depression, and even shortens menopause symptoms. I have been using it for a very long time. I have not had any perimenopausal symptoms to be speaking of. Now, stay tuned. I will tell you if they start coming. So another couple things that you want to make sure you are staying away from, and don't shoot the messenger, alcohol. So yes, alcohol might, that glass of wine on Valentine's night might get you in the mood. And it's lowering your acute stress. But what it's also doing is it's increasing small intestinal bacterial overgrowth, which will increase the recycling of estrogen, leading to less free testosterone. Alcohol increases estrogen on its own, and then alcohol will increase the aromatization or the conversion of testosterone into estrogen in men and women. So that alcohol, short-term and long-term, actually is not helping your libido. That intermittent fasting helps your libido. It increases the growth hormone and testosterone, improves the insulin sensitivity, reduces inflammation, reduces estrogen dominance, reduces belly fat, visceral fat, and the liver fat, which also all lead to low testosterone. And it improves overall balance of the hormones. And you combine this with the accelerated keto, it's really easy to intermittent fast, not difficult at all. By reducing belly fat, a reduction in that aromatization occurs, which causes that testosterone to convert into estrogen. Also, during the intermittent fasting window, the body's engaged in autophagy. And what does that mean? That is the body's cleanup of the useless and damaged tissues in the body, decreases the inflammation that causes pain, helps with healing the gut, and improving the nutritional absorption. All of these factors are going to improve your libido. We also want to focus on wild fish and wild animal protein. I mentioned before that conventional meat, poultry, and dairy are not good for your libido. 90% of the livestock animals in the US have estrogen implants. Yes, right behind their ears. And that makes them fatter faster. Well, why would the farmers do that? Of course, to increase the time to market and increase profit. So eating these estrogen-laden foods increase the estrogens in the body. So we want to stick to the wild animal protein like the bison, the lamb, deer, elk, providing the needed anti-inflammatory building blocks for hormonal balance without causing inflammation in the body. And the healthy cholesterol provided in the animal proteins also are building blocks for the sex hormones. On the other hand, the protein from chicken, poultry, conventional beef, those contain those amyloid proteins that are going to disrupt the gut, lead to Alzheimer's, and creating a cascade of detrimental effects in the body, including hormonal issues. The wild animal protein also helps stabilize blood sugar and encourage insulin sensitivity, improving bile production for that liver detox that's so important. And when the liver's functioning optimally, estrogen is minimized, leading to optimal levels of testosterone. They also help suppress the cravings for carbs and sugar that dysregulate insulin, leading to lower free testosterone. So there's a hormone called CCK in the gut. And when it's only triggered by wild animal protein and omega-3 fatty acids, and that hormone says to your brain, it's released and it goes to the brain and it says to the brain, okay, I've gotten plenty of nutrients. I don't need to eat anymore. I don't need to go after the Ben and Jerry's and the Pringles and the pizza. I'm good. I'm satisfied. That hormone is only triggered by the protein, the amino acids in protein, and the omega-3 fatty acids. It's not triggered by a lot of vegan and vegetarian foods or vegetables even, or of course, the processed foods. So we utilize that to help trigger our brain to suppress our appetite on top of the accelerated keto and the intermittent fasting. And then we eliminate the processed foods and the sugar as well, because we don't crave them anymore. These wild animal proteins also are giving us this little bump in glucagon to insulin ratio. And that glucagon is your fat burning hormone, and the insulin is the fat storing hormone. So anytime we can bump up that glucagon while not bumping up the insulin, that's a win. So that's something else to think about. Processed foods and sugar increase the beta-glucuronidase, which cause leaky gut, increases inflammation, and increase the recycling of estrogen. So as a result, free testosterone will become limited, in addition to that estrogen being recycled in the body and backing up the liver even more, right? So another thing to think about, improper food combining. And I mentioned this to my kids and they about shot me because they're like, this is impossible. It's impossible, maybe not. But if you are suffering from low libido or low testosterone and your hormones don't feel right, you'll do anything, right? So something to consider when you're combining foods. The body's unable to digest the meal and it goes into acute metabolic acidosis. And this leads to an estrogen spike. So the rule of thumb is eat fruit alone always. Eat your proteins with vegetables or alone, starches with vegetables or alone, but never combine the proteins with starches. So the steak and potatoes, the turkey on bread, the fish with the rice, chicken and pasta. Now, I'm thinking you should be limiting your carbs anyways, sticking to the sweet potatoes, the squashes, that sort of thing. Most grains, most beans are full of mold and oxalates and lectins or sulfur, those things that we are trying to abstain from to heal our gut and to increase our happy hormones and the right hormones. That is something to consider. So if you are still suffering from some issues hormonally and with your libido, take into consideration what you are eating with what, and then overeating in general. Too much food in the stomach strangulates that internal lining of the stomach, preventing gastrin, hydrochloric acid, and pepsin from being properly secreted And then the acute metabolic acidosis can occur once again, creating too much estrogen. The plastics, the parabens, the lack of progesterone, all of these things can increase the estrogens in the body, lowering your usable testosterone. So those are things to stay away from, and you want to get them out of your environment. So your diet is not just the food you take in, it's what are you washing your clothes with? What are you drinking out of? What plates are you eating off of? What dish soap are you using? These are things all to look at. Now, don't get overwhelmed with all of these things thrown at you at once. Take them one at a time. Try to attack one thing every 2-3 days. You need to go with what your tolerance is. The last thing I want you to do is become overwhelmed and then not do any of it. So let's take 1 or 2 steps a week and see how that goes. Consumption of soy. Soy is estrogenic. It is. All soy is GMO, even if it says it's organic. It mimics estrogen in the body, leading to estrogen dominance, lowers that usable testosterone. And I just mentioned the grains. So GMO foods and all grains, these are highly inflammatory, cause microbiome imbalances and leaky gut, inhibit the phase 2 estrogen detox. So that aromatase converts testosterone into estrogen, which worsens estrogen dominance. And then this is also worsened with excess belly fat. Fat cells hold the bad estrogens, increasing estrogen dominance further. It's a vicious cycle. So as you start losing weight, you're going to actually start losing those bad estrogens. And then that's why it is important to use the accelerated cellular detox powder to soak up those bad estrogens, to get them out of the blood supply as soon as possible. And that will help with this detoxing of the bad estrogens, increasing libido naturally. We talked about stress. We got to start getting rid of the stressors in our life, using joyful activity, laughter, pets. I always talk to my kids about giving me hugs. I need a dopamine hit. It's got to be a 30-second hug. And this will also help increase oxytocin, improve your libido, lower the cortisol, improve that blood sugar. Faking it, right? Hugging, caressing, thinking about sex, teasing texts to your spouse or partner, flirting, foot rubs, all of these things increase oxytocin. It just doesn't start in the bedroom, right? It starts during the day, the morning text, thinking about you, had a fun weekend with you. All of these little things, they add to the relationship, add to the excitement, add to the dopamine release, the lead up. You know, there's so many Olympic or pro athletes that get their gold medal and then they become suicidal or depressed. It's not the gold medal that is the dopamine. It is the journey there. And it goes the same way with your sex life and your libido. It is the journey there. It is not just the orgasm. It is the lead up. It is, are you making a nice dinner for your spouse? Putting some lipstick on before they come home? The text that you get midday, afternoon, morning, whatever it is. All of those things increase the oxytocin and the dopamine. So you need to start doing it and taking one step at a time. It is hard if that libido's gone for you and your partner, and if you have stopped that sex activity in your relationship. Taking these little steps and maybe doing the Ascent Diet Cleanse together as a partner. So you are changing your diet and your lifestyle and your sex diet as well together, right? So all of these things are working in conjunction with each other. Remember, I go back to the thyroid, the adrenals, and the gonads are connected. Well, it's also the same as your environmental diet, your activity diet, your relationship diet, and your supplement diet. All of these things feed in together. So we want to get rid of some of the toxicity in our body to help with the estrogen detox, but we're adding in some of the additional behavioral things that you're going to do with your partner. And I just want to make sure that I hit on everything. Oh, lastly, pornography, sex, masturbation. You would think that these things are good for libido. And I'm going to be very specific with sex. Dr. John Gray goes into this in detail in our interviews. But number one, pornography, it's going to kill your libido. It's going to kill your sex drive. It's going to kill your testosterone. It is something that you need to get rid of, and it has become a pandemic. Over the last 2 years, the addiction in general to free substance and behavioral things have increased significantly, and one of those is pornography. It's excessive, but it's also accessible. You get it through your device, through your computer, and we've been isolated. Stress is increased. So what do? You reach for the pornography or the gambling. Pornography and masturbation lower testosterone. On the other hand, sexual activity without ejaculation with a real person can increase testosterone. Ejaculation only once a week will significantly increase testosterone, whereas ejaculating more than once a week can actually lower testosterone. I am only the messenger. So teaching you how to have sex without ejaculating, that is Dr. John Gray's his specialty, not mine, but that's something to think about. So just by ejaculating once a week, you are doubling your testosterone, which I thought was very interesting. But absolutely get the pornography and the masturbation out of your protocol, your daily protocol, weekly protocol of what you are doing for your stress levels. Also, sleep. I've talked a lot about my sleep protocol and how my sleep score on my Oura Ring is over 95 every single night. What's interesting is I was really run down last week. I was actually starting to feel like I was coming down with something. And even then, my sleep protocol got me into a 95 or a 96 sleep score every single night. So even under severe stress, my sleep was holding very strong. And that includes the Silent Night sleep patch, the Eon sleep patch, and the Libido. Those three. I also use the Magnesium Breakthrough and the Sleep Breakthrough and the Dream Spray. Those are the sleep hacks I do on top of the accelerated keto and the acceleridine and then the accelerated thyroid, regulating your energy during the day so that you're able to sleep at night. The other thing, get your morning sunshine. That triggers the release of the optimal cortisol release that you're supposed to have in the morning and helps the regulate your circadian rhythm so that your body knows it's morning time, knows it's time to wake up, get going, increase that drive for life, increase the drive at work, school, your relationships, but then sets you up for a nighttime circadian rhythm and knowing when it's time to sleep. You also want to make sure you're going to bed by 10:30. For me, I'm in bed and out by 9 a.m. or 9 p.m. because I get up at 5. But with that, even on the weekends, I keep my same sleep schedule because I just feel better. And if I try to sleep in on the weekends, I then feel groggy and then feel even more groggy on that Monday morning when I have to wake up at 5 a.m. to start my day. So sleep is a must as well. And calcium D-glucarate. This is one more that I wanted to touch on. This is a supplement that binds the excess estrogen in your gut. So a lot of supplements to bind estrogen are based off the cruciferous sulfur vegetables. that being dim. If you're on a dim supplement, it might be backfiring and causing your liver to back up and actually to increase your estrogens in the body. Calcium D-glucarate has been shown to support the body's ability to excrete the estrogen properly through the intestines and the gut. And that is something that has been very helpful for people who switch from DIM to the calcium D-glucarate. Last thing I just want to mention is the leaky gut bundle. If your gut is disrupted and you have leaky gut, you are going to suffer from phase 3 estrogen detoxification, and then your free testosterone is going to suffer. So healing the gut through the leaky gut bundle is going to increase the testosterone, increase your nutrient absorption, so you're absorbing that amazing nutrients that you're getting from your wild animal protein and from the vegetables that agree with you, and then your libido is going to feel good. We are supposed to be enjoying our life, and our sex drive, our libido is a big part of that. Our dopamine drive, our testosterone levels, our growth hormone, all of these things are interrelated. And I want you to be feeling good inside and outside the bedroom, because just imagine what your relationship will be like when you actually start feeling good and have energy. I have one client who has such a horrible autoimmune issue that she started my protocol, and just in the first 3 days of doing the Ascent Diet Cleanse, she goes, "Sarah, I can't believe it. I actually am enjoying my husband for the first time again, and just having a relationship with my kids," because she's not in bed sleeping and exhausted from her autoimmune issues. It's amazing what these changes can do for you. So thank you for joining me today. And if I can help you with your health issues, contact me directly through the website, sarahbantahealth.com. Happy to put together a protocol for you. And join my free group coaching. There is no downside. It's with the Telegram link below. I teach you on a daily basis with tips and tools to enhance your health, and you will be a part of a like-minded group to support you on your journey, in addition to truly taking control of your health. You can follow me on Facebook and Instagram under Accelerated Health Products, and across over 100 channels and podcast outlets under Accelerated Health Radio and TV. And if you like what you heard today, please hit the subscribe button and share with a few of your friends. Share this one with your partner. It might get the ball rolling to start the conversation between the two of you. Why not? Let me do the talking for you. Join us every week, Monday at 2 p.m. Pacific and Tuesday at 1 p.m. Pacific. You can find the supplements at sarahbantahealth.com. Use coupon WELCOME10 for 10% off site-wide. Thank you again for joining us here on Accelerated Health Radio and TV, and have a great week.